and welcome to Promo Insiders, an ASI Media podcast that covers the issues that matter most to the promotional products industry. I'm Teresa Hagel, Executive Editor of Digital Content, and today I'm joined by Sarah Lavandusky and Melissa Newman.
What's up?
And today we're going to have one of our very super serious, staid, perfectly professional discussions about weird foods for Valentine's Day. So I thought, because Valentine's Day is coming up, I thought it would be fun to sort of talk about, ways that you can show love to your clients and coworkers. Because, obviously this has been a crazy year and it's not really getting so much better. So the more we can kind of show kindness, compassion, and just kind of caring for other people, I think that's a good thing all year long. But because we're weird and we like to do weird things, we decided we have to, taste test some foods while we're talking about some interesting, fun stuff. And before we get started, I just wanted to mention we have a little special pop-up surprise for, one lucky commenter. We have Maple Ridge Farms is offering a chocolate and coffee crate. And I saw a picture of it. It looks delicious. So one person who comments, who has a good comment, you'll be getting a sweet treat from Maple Ridge Farms. So that's an incentive. So definitely comment, share your ideas for incentives and gifts and sharing love with your coworkers and clients, and ask questions. More participation is great. So, all right. So let's start. I will start. I'm going to do this one first. I was going to save it for last, but I'm just going to get it out there because I think it's the funniest thing ever. It was very what's the word? Serendipitous, I believe would be the word. We decided we were going to do this Facebook Live, and then, a day later, I get an email from a company called, I guess it's called the Manly Man Company, and they have these things called meat hearts, and they basically are like those conversation hearts, except they're made of beef jerky. Let's see if we can. Oh, there we go.
Is it a special flavor?
What's that?
Is it like a special flavor?
I think it's just beef.
Okay.
It's 100% edible heart-shaped pieces of beef jerky that are laser engraved with themed sayings.
Aww.
So it has things like kiss me and beef mine, XOXO, love. I'm going to open those up and try one. So I'm actually going to give these to my husband afterwards and show him some love because I'm not really a big beef jerky person, but I think it's a really fun idea. They also have, I believe they also sell beef jerky bouquets that look like roses. So,
That's cute.
Wow.
Let's see. So, love. Let's try this one. Okay. Yep. It's very chewy. Pretty much what you would expect from, beef jerky. I think the fun in this one is all in the presentation, really. But I mean, that's something we know is it's called the Manly Man Company.
Okay.
Manly Man.
Okay.
Manly
I'll
Man.
show you. This is the Manly Man. So I think you can just look that up on Google and you'll find them very easily. But it's a great idea. I don't think it's just for men. There's women that like beef jerky.
I love it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Like,
I'm a huge beef jerky fan.
Somebody who's like, I feel like people who like gyms, like, or people who are into like CrossFitter stuff. People who want like more healthier snacks.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What's that high protein stuff?
Yeah, like people who are maybe doing like keto or like whole January, because I feel like a lot of people are trying to find like high protein snacks.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a good point. Like to me, it's like I'll take chocolate any day of the week, but not everybody wants chocolate, so you have to know the audience.
That's true.
But yeah, I think food gifts are a great way to show love to clients, coworkers, bosses, anybody. So. But it's important to know like what if they have allergies or preferences too. So you don't want to just like a food. I think this is the thing with any kind of gift or acknowledgement. If you don't know the person, if it's generic or if it's the wrong thing, it's not going to go over well. So anyway, that's the beef jerky, the meat hearts. I think they're a hit. I like it. I think it's a great idea. They're funny. They're cute. They taste good. So why not? So who wants to be next? I know we all have a bunch of fun stuff. All right, Melissa.
So for me, I in the last couple of years have really gotten into Galentine's Day, probably because I love Parks and Rec. And
yeah. It's a great idea too.
Yeah, I think it's so cute. So I know we're not having like large parties. We're doing stuff socially distanced and probably only maybe interacting with people not only socially distanced, but a smaller group. So I was looking for cute stuff, like what could be multi-purpose, because I'm somebody who's like, how can I get the most bang for my buck when I'm doing like decorations or something? So maybe if you had like 2 of your best girlfriends over socially distanced for like a little mini Galentine's, like I just think this is so cool. It's Jelly Bellies and they're rosé.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
like it'd be cool on
and it's in like a bottle, but they're actually the jelly beans.
Yeah, and the cool
Cute.
thing too is they're individually wrapped, which I really like too, because I feel like a lot of times like you'll see stuff like this and it'll just be like loose candy. And even before COVID, I always thought that was like really gross, like somebody would just like hand them. Like,
yeah, I think everybody's germophobia has been validated in the last year. We can't make fun of anybody for like excessive hand washing or not wanting to like double dip in the candy jar. So
right. So maybe I'm really like out of shape because now I can't get the top open. Oh, and it comes off from the bottom.
Whoa, look at that.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while, but like, dang. All right. So I think
cute.
Galentine's Day is supposed to be the day after Valentine's Day. Is that correct?
I think it's the 13th. I think
the day before.
Day is the day before, like.
And it's traditionally brunch.
Really?
I don't know. On Parks and Rec, it was. I mean, they made it up for the show, and I think it was usually a big brunch.
Oh, these are D's. No,
are they good?
I really like want you guys to go to Walgreens and like pick these up for yourself.
Oh, you got them at Walgreens.
Okay.
It was like really inexpensive. That whole thing was like $6. So something like super cute to have on like the table and not too sweet, but you really do get like that kind of like rosé aftertaste without being like too bitey. But I love this. I think this is super cute. There's probably
are they a nice pink color too? Do they have
there's probably like maybe like 8 or 10 in here.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, I like these.
Oh, Maple Ridge has some rosé jelly beans too.
Ooh.
Prosecco balls.
Ooh,
Oh, that sounds
I love
amazing.
Prosecco balls.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Yeah. So, and I think another thing too with like the Galentine's Day, if you don't want to, like we're saying, being socially distanced, we don't have to get together. It could be another one of those dreaded like Zoom parties. Like maybe if you're a good planner, send your friends something ahead of time, and then you can all eat it, on that day. Give us a treat.
Okay, so my idea, first of all, and I think I've talked to some distributors recently who were saying that their clients have now, understandably, businesses hurting, in a lot of different industries right now. But they're saying that a lot of the companies are like, well, our business is virtual and it's remote work and it's also in person. So we have kind of like two parties within our workforce of where people are working. And those who are at home, that should be like, reward enough that they're at home. And we agreed that really you have to show your employees especially appreciation right now because they're feeling isolated. Just because they're home doesn't mean it's like a totally positive experience all the time. Right. And I think a year later, the COVID fatigue is real and we're really starting to feel it if we weren't feeling it before. So I think that's really important that, and it doesn't have to be expensive. Like Melissa, you're just showing us like a very affordable gift. Like it doesn't have to be expensive. The meat heart's another example. They can be a creative add-on to like a box that you surprise them with. It doesn't have to be a lobster dinner for two and if you can do that, some industries are doing really well. That's great, but it doesn't have to be that. Like, it's really just the thought that really counts. And I think surprising your people with something that's thoughtful is like, it goes so far. It goes light years. So with that said, I have something interesting that I found. So I am a huge Pirate Booty fan, but I'm a purist. Like, I really like the cheddar curls. Anything else, I'm kind of like, ugh. But I found these pink ones that are like a berry. They're fruit sticks.
Okay.
So, and it's kind of like, Teresa, you showed us that like pink macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah, that was what we really wanted to taste test, but you have to like win a prize for that.
Yeah. So I figured I would try something. They're like almost like fries.
Okay. Are they pink? Do they look pink? I can't really tell.
Is it really sweet?
They're kind of like, they're like cereal.
Okay.
It tastes like a berry cereal.
Okay, like Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Those crunch berries.
Do you think that would be good like in milk? Because you know sometimes people will take like stuff like and make it like into cereal that's not necessarily cereal, but
This could be it. Yeah, this could be
Okay.
cereal.
Okay.
Put this in milk.
All
It's
right.
okay. It's okay. I won't like eat the whole bag, but it was
You're
worth
gonna stay a
trying.
purist. Back
Yeah.
to the
I'm
center.
gonna wash it down with my pink lemonade. If there are any Canadians watching, in my Canadian event, when we still had in-person events for my women's event, Tumblr.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's drinkware. That it's funny because we just did the salesperson of the year package for, I guess it was Advantages or ASI Media, whatever it is. So many. One of the questions we asked all of those salespeople, "What's your favorite promotional product?" And I think almost all of the people I interviewed, drinkware, love
Yep.
drinkware.
Yep.
They have it
Never get
everywhere.
enough.
They're like they're addicted to drinkware, and it makes sense because we're also concerned about like hydration and reusing bottles and everything. And there's so many great options now. So that would be another great gift for employees or clients. A some nice drinkware, maybe paired with the drink.
Yep.
So I'm going to do one now too, and I'll show you guys. I don't know if you see my silly earrings. They're little rosé bottles.
Oh, cute.
I love it.
And then I found something called their sparkling rosé cordials.
Oh.
So I'm gonna. I mean, I think that seems to be the theme of these Valentine's treats. Nice pink and decadent, and let's see. So they are like chocolate, but they're like kind of got a pink tint.
How fun.
Are they filled with anything? Like, are they solid chocolate or it's like crunchy?
All right, well, it says that they have a delectable rosé flavored liquid center. The first one didn't taste very liquidy to me, but let's try another one. Maybe that was a fluke.
Take two.
Oh, yep. No.
Oh, it's like an empty one.
No.
Weird.
Well,
Is it like
it's
a
very good.
sweet though? You know
You're
how like
making me hungry. What's that?
is it like very sugary sweet though? Because you know how some of this candy like they put like pink, so they make it like super sweet.
Yeah, well, it's basically chocolate. It's dark chocolate, which I'm obsessed with dark chocolate. And then it has kind of just that liquidy. It's got a crunch to it too. It's got a little crunch.
Nice.
And then it has like a liquidy, like rosé center.
Oh, that's cool.
Contains no alcohol though. But it does say, it's funny, on the packaging it says bite responsibly. It's a company called Cupper's Chocolate.
That's cute.
I think I found them at Giant, and they're really tasty actually.
Cool.
So that was a good find. One thing I was going to mention, just for your employees, is something as simple as prioritizing safety, especially right now. Show them that you are concerned about them. I guess like don't. If they have to be in the office, like make sure you're taking all the right precautions, masking and social distance. And I know, like I had spoken with, I think Bella and Canvas, like they have to have people in production, but they have like a clinic set up like every week to do COVID testing in their parking lot. And even the employees that are at home, I believe, can come and get tested for free. And that's like one of their perks. It's like, obviously, I don't know that everyone can do that, but things like that, I think that stuff like that goes a long way. It's a little perk. It's a little thing that just shows that you actually are concerned about them. Because there's a lot of times, I think, not necessarily in this industry, but just you hear so much about like, oh, you're the frontline workers, you're essential workers, and we care so much about you. But then, something happens, they get sick, or what I mean, like there's a lot of talk, but are you following it up with any kind of like actual action?
Right.
So I think right, nowadays, like just prioritizing their safety and health, or mental health too. You know what I mean? Like make sure that they know what resources are available to them. If you guys have like, telehealth or, counseling services or anything like that, because like you said, there is a lot of fatigue and things like that. I think things like that sometimes go longer than just a pat on the back. So
yeah. Yep. I totally agree. And I think that's smart. Like sometimes when you're onboarded at a company, you get all that stuff in a folder and it just collects dust. So I think like you said, maybe like just a nice check-in email or something, like a reminder, like, hey, we know that you're dealing with a lot. And like you said earlier, people are calling it like the COVID wall, just feeling.
And I think I've hit it like 5 times in the last year. You keep thinking, I'm doing fine. And then, okay, there's that wall again.
Right. So I think that's like perfectly said. It's just like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a gift, like whether it's pricey or something that's more cheap, like some of the options we just showed. It can just be like, hey, I hope you're performing some, self-care for yourself.
Check in and make sure they're taking like vacation, make sure that they're able to, you know what I mean? Like, I guess like accommodate the ability for them to use their vacation time, because I think there's a lot of people too that have that time accrued, but they don't feel like they're able to take it because they're too busy or things are so precarious or they can't go anywhere. But just make it okay for them to have that work-life balance and make it okay for them to be at home and not be working sometimes.
Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah. So who do we have next? Melissa, we're back to you, I think.
I will go next because I think the segues actually perfectly into Maple Ridge Farm. So I came from healthcare before I segued into digital marketing. And I just remember like I worked inpatient at a hospital. I was doing rec therapy. I worked in inpatient psych, and I was like the only rec therapist compared to like a whole unit full of nurses. And my mom's a nurse. And I just feel like for essential workers, like, it's been 11 months where, it's just been so wild. And I'm not saying that's the only industry that's been affected, but personally, like just sharing a personal experience, my mom will tag team an entire CCRC with one of her other nurses in the office and end up doing like rapid tests for like COVID for 126 people. And, she's coming in at like 7, she's leaving at 6, and just like dealing with that with everything else that is going on, in a unit for nurses, it's like that stress level is high. So I think when we think about Valentine's Day, we often think about like romantic relationships and like partners. I feel like essential workers, like you were saying, employees earlier, it's just like, this is such a nice holiday. If you forget other times, to just be like, wow, I want to spread some love for my employees and just say thank you for everything you're doing, all the extra work you're doing. So I feel like Maple Ridge Farms had some really good gift ideas for kits, and a lot of them were like individually wrapped. So I was thinking like, if you're a family member and you just want to say like, hey, thank you so much for taking care of my mom. There's a couple of people at the nurses station who are like, every time you go there, they're on that same rotation. They have a great relationship with your parent as their caregiver. Considering sending something like that, where it's like they can take something and they can eat, it's individually wrapped for like hygiene. And then also too, a lot of times, like my mom will always say, she's like, I'm doing like a 12, the time that she will like spend to eat is like maybe 10 minutes. So all they can do is like a snack. So I feel like having those larger gifts, like if you have a client that's a healthcare client, whether it's like skilled, inpatient, outpatient, whatever it is, I think now is like a perfect opportunity to show some love, just so people can satiate hunger, snack, and get through their shift while they're doing so much else. So I dropped like the link to Maple Ridge Farms, but I thought that would be a really good one for our audience.
Yeah, and I mean, we should also mention too that there's, obviously Maple Ridge Farm is great, and they are giving away a chocolate and coffee crate to one lucky commenter, but also there's tons of other like food gift suppliers in the industry that are great, like who is like Fairy Tale Brownies or Chocolate in Lanco. Like there's, and I think we just saw some at the ASI Digital Expo, like the edible cookie dough.
Yeah.
I guess it's called edible.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce that, but it looked amazing.
I love that.
But there's just like, there's so many different options, you know what I mean? Like you can kind of, I think you can find anything in the industry to suit your taste. So, and suit the recipient's taste. So you're not limited.
Yeah.
But I mean, we love Maple Ridge Farms too, but I just wanted to kind of broaden it and mention that there's just like, there's so many different like food gifts, food kits and things that are out there. So there's just like a world of things to choose from.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said earlier, being cognizant of people's like allergies and preferences, like you have a plethora of options to, send some really good like food to people.
And I think this is something we've mentioned before, that if you, I don't know quite how it would work, but like before you drop ship something, like if you can set up kind of like a little like pre-website, just you send them in send them something in their email and be like, look, you're going to get this gift. Just answer a couple of questions. You know what I mean? Like something to kind of pre-qualify what they actually want. So you can, I think I'm actually getting a package right now, but and it might be wine.
Did you time
it? There. Anyway, yeah, so it's, yeah, I'm sorry. The wine really distracted me. But yeah, if you can like do something like if you can kind of make it hybrid where it's like part digital, like they answer like maybe a little fun survey or just kind of give their preferences or allergies ahead of time, and you have like a set amount of different things you could be sending, and then you make sure that they like it. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than sending something that someone really doesn't want. So if there's a way to kind of pre-qualify it, and it sort of builds up the excitement for it too. I don't think it ruins the surprise or anything because I think, it's sort of like when you're pregnant and, whether you find out the sex of the baby, whenever you find it out, that's the surprise. Like, you know what I mean? Like whether you find out on the day of or, at the ultrasound or at some kind of crazy gender reveal party gone wrong, that's the surprise. So it just depends on when you want to be surprised. So anyway, I kind of went off the rails. But I'll go again with something else to test. I have the old standby M&Ms. These are cheesecake M&Ms. So they look pretty good, and they look like nice. The little green M&M on the package has a red rose, so it's definitely for Valentine's Day.
Romantic.
So try these.
M&M's has so many different flavors now.
Yeah.
It's insane. They have fudge brownie ones. Yo.
These are like, they have pink ones. They have ones that are like peach colored.
Cute.
They look a little bit bigger than like a regular M&M, but not as big as like a peanut M&M.
Peanut. I was just gonna ask that. That was it. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, cool. It tastes like cheesecake.
Ooh,
It's
love
like one
it.
of the white chocolate ones, but it's got that cheesecake flavor.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's good. Very good.
Cool.
So I was also going to mention another thing that I think is a great idea with as far as like for your employees in particular, sending thank you notes, appreciation notes. But one thing to mention, because this actually happened to me once, I got a card from one of my former employers, not ASI, and they were thanking me for something or telling me I did a good job, but they spelled my name wrong on the card. So all the nice things in this card were totally negated by leaving out the H in my first name. Like, no, you don't even know who I am. So goodbye.
Right. If you add an H to my name, I'm like, so you need the H. I don't need the H. So give the H to Teresa.
I'm take it away from Sarah.
Right. Because as soon as I see with the H, I'm like,
yeah.
Don't know me.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, like it's proofreading. Proofreading is important.
Huge.
Because it's those attention to detail. Like people will notice that. And I think you did a nice thing, but if you didn't go that extra step, it's almost worse than doing nothing at all, actually.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
So I think it's a great idea to, tell your coworkers and your employees that they're doing a good job. And it doesn't have to be just in February. It can be any time. But I think even just like a little like email message like, hey, that project, you really like, kicked butt on that. Just something little. Like I don't think people do that enough. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we take enough time to like recognize our coworkers for the great things that they're doing. And I know, like for me personally, if somebody sent me something like, oh, that story you wrote, that was awesome, I really enjoyed it, just out of nowhere, like it'll make my day. And I'm sure other people feel the same way. You're not expecting it, but it's just like a nice little acknowledgement, So something like that I think is a great idea.
Yep.
All right, so Sarah.
Yeah, I think the whole theme of really knowing your audience is huge. And I think if you have, your team with you at work, knowing not, every single detail, but kind of knowing their personal situation, like they have a significant other, they have kids, they just got a dog or whatever, and include them in the gift. So for instance, Teresa and our supervisor, CJ, has 2 girls who are very sweet and love to color. They love to color. So I found these hearts that I actually colored this with
that's so
food.
Cool.
They're like markers. They're like food safe markers. And I believe they're like peanut free and all that kind of stuff. So if you're going to target kids, go like peanut free, nut free. Just even if you don't know, just go nut free. Just
Yeah,
as a
it
rule.
doesn't hurt. Yeah, it's
Doesn't
still
hurt.
going to be good. And
Yeah. It doesn't hurt, and it really like include the people that live with them in the gift, because you've also maybe like if you have kids and they want to play and you can't because you're working for your company, you can say, here's for all the times that mommy and daddy couldn't, play with you, here's this cookie, right? Like
yeah,
something like that I think is a good idea.
I love the
And
idea of like cookies you can color. That's super fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I will say it was a very pleasant coloring experience. Like it
That's
went
good.
on well.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
markers are like really legit. It like was smooth. It dried well. It wasn't like getting caught on the sugar or
Yeah.
anything. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
How many
Um,
cookies do you get in like the pack? Like, is it like
so there's
2 or
4
4?
individually wrapped cookies.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Even better.
And
So
they're good. They're really
They're
good.
good.
They're like
Okay.
sugar cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think getting to know, and your employees too, getting to know them as people so that the gift has impact and also includes other people within the gift.
Yeah. And I think another thing, so that's a really great one because it's interactive, but that's
Yep.
another element. Like, and if you do this for your clients too, a great thing is then to tie it back to social media. I'm sure, as Melissa would tell us,
Yep.
that have them take a photo after they've colored the cookie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
A great
it could
idea.
be, like turn it into a gallery, or you could even have like some kind of post, contest afterwards. Like, and it doesn't have to be like a cookie. It could be anything. Like there's like the cooking kits or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Like make sure you get them to, post what they've done with it, and kind of
Mhm.
just keep spreading the love and get more mileage out of the gift you're sending.
Mhm.
Or like at a
That
virtual. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say at like a virtual party, like I know that we've been doing a lot of like different games for happy hours, but maybe
Mm.
if you didn't want to do like a larger social game, something like this, like sending this to somebody's house, and like just playing some music, getting together or something where it's like something where you can create something and do something like
Right.
social distance, but you can eat it at the end.
Yes. So it's like those painting with the twist kind of parties that people
Yeah.
used to do in person. There's no reason you couldn't do that virtually.
Right.
Mhm.
We have a question from Mary Berry. She wants to know where you find those cookies.
Oh, I got the cookies at Walmart.
Oh, there you go.
They
Okay.
had like a special Valentine's like display with cupcakes and
Yeah.
like this whole pile of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's, Walmart's like a little cheaper, so if you
Yeah.
want something real quick, it's easy. So yeah, they were there.
But I wonder, I mean, our industry is so like inventive. I bet there's somebody that's already making something similar too,
Yeah.
or can find it for you, or,
Totally.
But it's a great idea. I know that there's a baker that's in my area. Like she's just like an independent baker that does those royal icing cookies, and she has ones that you can sort of like can paint and dye yourself, like DIY kind of kits. So I think they're all over the place.
Yeah.
That would be
Interactive
fun
is
because it's
good.
a little bit more artisan, like Walmart
Yep.
would be like the easy, quick way, or you could
Yep.
find like, a baker that's independent and like kind of
Mhm.
get that like local business angle, which is another thing everybody's really trying to support. Like we want to show our love to our local businesses so they're still here. So
Mhm. Yeah, if they have the budget for like a local, like that actually in our expo last week, we covered a lumpy mail, the session with Michelle and Jay Krolik. And it's really important to lumpy mail, first of all, is, it if it's a different shape than normal packages, it's going to attract attention. So it's great for self promo.
Yep.
It's good to send it all seasons, not just, Q4, not just Valentine's Day, which is a good time, but think outside the box, like think, when else it could be sent. And one of the things they brought up was that, like the one company is a California company and they included all like California artisan curated, like local stuff.
Yeah.
So if they have the budget for that, that's a great idea.
Definitely. I mean, it's always contingent on what the client is willing to do and can afford. But there's so many. I think there's just like so many different options that people can take advantage of, and there's so much creativity and different ideas out there to share love. And I think, like you're saying, it shouldn't just be for February. Or it shouldn't just be for Q4.
Yeah.
And in fact, you might have more impact if you do it at a random time because people aren't expecting it and they'll appreciate it more. Not that people are necessarily being like bombarded with gifts, but if they're going to be getting a gift, it'll probably be in Q4, so it might have less impact then. But if you wait till, I don't know, July or some kind of random time, it might, it might end up giving you a bigger boost and bigger visibility.
Yep.
Agreed.
For sure.
So I have one more thing to taste test. And this is actually from the same company that did the rosé cordials. This Copper's company. These are milk chocolate gummy bears. I guess they're like chocolate covered gummy bears, I think.
Oh, okay.
So let's see how these are. I'm not sure about it. Like chocolate and gummy things are.
You're like either great or a disaster.
Let's see.
Oh, they're covered.
Yeah, they're covered in chocolate.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
very thin layer of chocolate.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try one.
Good.
Yeah. Hmm?
Well,
No.
Taste.
no, you know what? It's probably good. It's good actually.
Okay. Is it a little like crunchy? Not crunchy, but kind of a little.
It's just like a little hard. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
You know, it tastes like it might be like a cherry flavor, so that makes it okay.
Okay.
I think it kind of depends. Like if it were like a citrus flavor, that might be a little weird with chocolate. But they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Excuse me, it's chewy. So and where did I get these? These are from. Where did I get them? I think it was Giant, just like a local grocery store, and like the seasonal like Valentine's Day. I have a kid running behind me.
I love it.
I mean, we're all used to that now, so it's no big deal. Anyway, I also had one more suggestion just for your clients, and it's kind of a general thing, but I think sometimes it gets lost. It's just make sure you're offering like great customer service, like all the time. You know what I mean? Like listen to their problem, especially now. Like listen to what they're saying, find out what their pain points are. Make sure you're communicating with them regularly, and just offer that service that they really need. Like offer more than what they think they need. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's just like I don't know, like just little things like that go such a long way. I was just talking with my husband. We moved to a new house not too long ago, and we have oil heat, and we had to figure out who was going to be our oil heat provider. And you know, he was like looking at the tank, and he's like, "Oh, I think it's almost empty. I mean, the gauge says this, but I tapped on it, and it seems empty." So he called like a company and asked about it, and the woman was like, "Oh, you know, just go by the gauge. You have to just go by the gauge, and like, I wouldn't, you know, get the oil right now because you'll have to pay like a $75, you know, delivery fee if you don't get like a certain amount of gallons." And so we did. So we didn't get it then. But we certainly remembered that company who told us not to buy from them then. Yeah. And that's who we're getting oil from now. You know what I mean? We've become their customer because they just took that. It's just like a one little thing. Like you would like a lot of companies will be like, sure, I'll just take your money. I don't care if it's, you know, if you need it or not, just, you know, sign up right now. But just because she spent like, you know, an extra minute or two on the phone and was like, no, don't do it now. Wait until you really need it. That's what we did. We saved money. But now we're their like loyal customers. And I think that's the kind of thing that can apply so often in like any industry. Let people, you know, be transparent with them, be real. And actually, Sarah, you wrote like a really good commentary just about how like relations between suppliers and distributors are a little strained right now, understandably so because of this terrible pandemic and everything that's going on. But like now more than ever, we really have to look out for one another and have that kind of customer service and like caring for each other and understanding. So I think that's just a great way to share that love.
And also I think too, like, you know, me personally, like not to sound like it's coming from just a money perspective, but like if you look at like new client acquisition, it's so much more costly. So it's like, you know, if you have like just a random number, 10 clients, like do what you can to keep them. And like you said, especially now when so many people's like regular routine or workflow, like not just for us delivering a service maybe or a product, but like for people actually working with a distributor or a supplier, it's like put yourself in your customer's shoes. You know, there's change for them too. Maybe the channels that they're used to seeing you, like in person or at a trade show, in-person trade show, excuse me, isn't happening. So it's just like they're trying to weather the storm and adjust and adapt just like you are. So I think, like you said too, that transparency piece, like no one's ever going to yell at you for like over communicating and making sure you guys are like on the same page and like there's clear expectations, you know what I mean? As long as you're not like blowing somebody's inbox up or phone, but like, hey, I just want to update you on your order. Thank you so much for, you know, buying with me. It's been a pleasure working with you. Is there anything else I can do? You know, that kind of stuff. Or following up the next week, hey, you got your delivery. What did you think of it? That kind of stuff where, you know, again, I would be like, oh my God, you know, like I want to stay with this person forever. Like, for example, prior to the pandemic happening, I always used to stay at the DoubleTree Inn because they
Mhm.
give out
The
those
cookies.
warm
Yep.
cookies.
I love the cookies.
So good.
So amazing. So literally like a couple of years ago, I was like, I'm just like craving cookies. And they popped into my head and I'm like, I'm going to look for a copycat recipe. Like, I'm going to do it. So I found one, a really good one, and I made them and I tagged them on Twitter. They literally retweeted me and was like, you know what? Would you like to have some cookies sent from us to your home? And I was like, yes, I would. So they're
Of course.
yeah, like, who's going to say no to just that?
Wow.
Yeah. And
Get
Oh my
out of
God.
here.
If I ever go viral, I want it to be for cookies.
Yeah,
Me too.
I was like, this is amazing. And literally 2 seconds later, their social media marketing person like slipped into my direct messages and was like, just give me your address. And there were the best cookies sent personally to my home. Like, I don't care if there's a discount at another local hotel, like I will pay more just to
Yeah.
stay there because of that like nice touch, like
Yeah.
Yep.
free
Yeah.
cookies.
A
Like,
little goes a long way.
Totally.
yeah.
Another thing I was going to mention, I just thought of, is that you should ask your clients to show you some love by, asking for referrals, asking for them to kind of,
Yes.
share like the work you've done for them on social media. I don't think that there's nothing wrong with asking for a referral if they are happy with you. I
Yeah.
think most people are more than happy to share that, but they might not think of it on their own. So
Yep.
Yeah.
nudge them a little. So.
Yeah. I think
Do
that's
we have who has? I ate all of my stuff, and I think I gave all of my suggestions. So does anyone else have another thing to share?
I just have like Sour Patch Kids, but like I just
Ooh.
honestly, for nostalgia's sake, like I just love like these CVS boxes that has like the little card on the back. Like,
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
so cool. And I just feel like, again, like we're talking about like some options that are maybe like last minute or cheap. Like if you're at an apartment place, like having this in a bowl where like
Yeah.
your tenants can just like swing by as they leave for the day, and
Yeah.
it's like individual package. They could get their sugar high for the day.
Yeah.
This costs like, again, like $5, and then also these like weird cards where it's like roses are red, blue kid is blue, I like you and I hope you like me too, like super random.
How fun would it be? It's probably too late for now, but like for next Valentine's Day to have like that kind of promotion that's kind of themed off of those like classroom, Valentine's exchanges. You know what I mean? I bet that would be a really fun way to kind of structure like a promotion.
I like that. And plus, like, it's nostalgia. Like, who doesn't
Yeah.
like nostalgia?
Nostalgia's huge.
Yeah. I mean, like, it takes you back to middle school. Like, somebody could do like a box that's kind of like cardboard or something. It looks like homemade, decorated,
Yeah.
and with all these good little candies. And I know what these taste like, but I just couldn't resist because they're
Oh yeah, you gotta have it. I love Sour Patch Kids.
but so good. What about you, Sarah? Do you have any more?
Yeah, I actually have one more treat. But I think, one of the things that I think is a good idea is, especially when you're recognizing your employees, it's most likely going to be on Teams or Zoom or something like that. It's a really great idea to recognize them in front of their peers, so
Yeah.
that you can show them that you're taking the time to recognize. You can show people that, and you can even offer them, like, say, there's a surprise coming for you, whatever, like for as a thank you.
Yeah.
But it also, make sure that the team stays connected, knows what everyone's up to, because otherwise, like, if you just kind of reward them, if you even, if a company even bothers to reward at this point or recognize, but they should, and it's a really good idea to do it in front of their peers, so that,
Definitely.
there's connection that's fostered, so people can kind of pat each other in the back virtually,
Yeah.
and really, like, there's a connection that's forged there, either that's made even stronger because you can see how that person's really delivering for the team and for the company. So I think that's really important too, in front of their peers. Peer recognition still counts in a big
And
way.
you know what? It's something fun maybe would be to kind of structure it like the Dundies, like in the office, like make it into like, it doesn't have to be quite as silly as that, but maybe you get like some cheesy, or even nice awards. There's plenty of great award options in the industry, but like maybe it can be like for real, real accomplishments, but also maybe like silly things like, this person is muted the most often during Zoom meetings, or this person. Well, we have a person who's always got her bird on the Teams meeting, so maybe like biggest menagerie at home. I don't know, just something like that, like just to make it more fun and personal, and just kind of like let's make a celebration out of it.
Right.
I need
But yeah,
that
I think that's a lot of.
because it sounds like you have good ideas, Teresa. I need you to pitch that to Michelle because
Oh yeah, we should do our own undies. That would be
Yeah.
fun.
It's a great idea. Yeah. So my last treat is the Lady Gaga Oreos.
That's amazing.
See?
And I
And
think,
I
as I said
have
on
not.
Twitter, those are perfect for any kind of celebration.
Yeah.
It could be Arbor Day. Let's just get those
Arbor
out.
Day. I wanted to open it and try it, but I didn't. So I'm just opening them now. Ooh,
I want to see what they look like.
That fresh pack too, because you
I'm
just
a little worried about this.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad it's last because it might make my mouth green. So they're pink, but they have a
Okay.
green inside.
Do we know like why these came out now? Like what was the genesis of the Lady Gaga Oreos?
I think
It says
Chromatica, right?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
a
okay.
cookie inspired by Chromatica. That's what it says on the side.
Yeah.
So
And okay, this is also a dumb question. Is that like her new album or something?
It's not a dumb question. No.
I'm old. I'm sorry.
No.
I do like Lady
Wow.
Gaga. I just don't keep up with.
Yeah, it's her. The one her last album she released last year and stuff. She was supposed to be at like Coachella and everything. The pandemic, so
Yeah. So instead, we get Oreos.
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's a good compromise. It's a good consolation prize.
Yeah. Enjoy these cookies. Stream my album.
So how do they taste?
it's okay.
Do they
It's not
taste
as
different?
offensive as I thought it would be.
Okay.
It's like
It
too
may
sweet.
just be the
That's
color,
offensive.
right? It's just the color. They're like just a vanilla Oreo, or
I think it's just vanilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't really taste like too crazy.
Do you think it's a missed opportunity for her? Because she said like it's not a meat flavored one, like her dress or something. It's just like here's a bland Oreo that's dyed.
Yeah, it's kind of just the color that's really.
They should have
Yeah.
done. Do you guys know? Like, it's still my favorite Oreos, and I think they only have them around the 4th of July. But they're like the firecracker ones that have the
I love
pop-ups
those.
in them. Oh my
Mhm.
Oh
god!
my god, I've never had those. Oh
Oh,
my
They're
they're
good.
wonderful. I love them so much.
Yeah,
I wish I had them year round. I would just get them.
me too.
It's like a little
I love
surprise
them.
in your mouth.
Oh my god, I gotta.
So good.
That sounds good.
So now that we've plugged Oreo, what else we're doing? But anyway, I think this has been a really good discussion. A lot of great comments that came through, but I think as long as you are willing to take some time, think about who the recipient is, whether it's a coworker, an employee, a client, whoever it is. Like, just think about what they would want. Put yourself in their shoes, and you can come up with some great, creative, fun ideas just to show appreciation any time of the year.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
And if it's food, even better.
Yeah.
Totally.
But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us today. This was a lot of fun. For ASI Media, I'm Teresa Hagel, and this was Promo Insiders.
Have a good one, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.